Welcome back to BBB's 5-Minute English, where real talk meets real life. I'm Luis, and today we're diving into something simple yet deeply powerful: conversations around the table.
And I'm Emma. Think about it, the table isn't just where we eat. It's where we celebrate, reflect, debate, and connect. Today's episode is titled, Talk at the Table.
Picture a dinner table. It could be a quiet meal for two, a bustling family gathering, or even a quick bite between roommates. No matter the setting, something magical happens when people sit down and talk while they eat.
That's right. Growing up, dinner time in my house was sacred. No phones, no TV. Just the clink of forks and a stream of stories about school, work, friends, and sometimes even dreams. It was our daily check-in.
Mine too. My mom used to ask this one question every night: what was the best part of your day? It seems simple, but it sparked the most honest and sometimes unexpected conversations. The dinner table was where I learned to really listen.
And it's not just about family. Think about first dates, job interviews, holiday feasts, even awkward roommate meetings. They often happen over meals. There's something about sharing food that breaks down walls.
Absolutely. Food is a universal language. You might not speak the same words, but if you're both enjoying a bowl of something warm and delicious, you're already halfway to understanding each other.
You know, there's an Italian saying, a tavola non si invecchia. It means, at the table, one does not grow old. Time slows down when we eat together. And in that space, we open up. We become more human.
I love that. In many cultures, the table is more than furniture, it's tradition. From Korean banchan to Ethiopian injera, from Mexican tacos to French baguettes, meals carry history. And stories. Lots of stories.
Like the story my grandma used to tell about how she met my grandpa during a wartime soup line. Every time she made her famous tomato stew, that tale came out again, slightly exaggerated, always heartwarming.
Or the way my uncle would retell the same barbecue disaster story every 4th of July: smoke everywhere, burgers burned, guests laughing anyway. Somehow, that messy moment became part of our family's identity.
Meals create memory markers. We may forget what we wore or said, but we remember how the food smelled, how someone laughed, how the room felt. That's why dinner tables often feel like emotional time machines.
There's also a healing power at the table. Think of those tough talks, apologies, announcements, breakups even. The setting softens the moment. A cup of tea in hand makes truth easier to swallow.
And then there's humor. So much laughter happens while eating. Someone spills soup, a kid says something outrageous, someone nearly chokes laughing. The table becomes a stage for life's little dramas and comedies.
Sadly, in today's fast-paced world, shared meals are disappearing. Solo dining, screens at dinner, grab-and-go meals, they rob us of that sacred pause. That connection. And sometimes, even our appetite for conversation.
That's why it's worth reclaiming. Even if it's just once a week. Light a candle. Make a simple meal. Sit down and ask a good question, not "how was your day," but something deeper, like "what made you smile today?"
I love that. Or even ask, what's a memory you never want to forget? Questions like these unlock real connection. And you don't need a fancy dinner party. Just presence. And maybe dessert.
Speaking of dessert, I once baked a cake that completely collapsed in the middle. My friends still talk about it. Not because it was delicious, it wasn't, but because we laughed for hours. That night became legendary.
It's proof that the best moments aren't perfect, they're shared. Even silence at the table can be beautiful when it's filled with comfort. A soft bite. A knowing glance. The clatter of forks doing all the talking.
So whether you're at a family feast, a quiet solo breakfast, or lunch with friends, take a moment to truly be at the table. Taste the food. Hear the words. See the people. Be there fully.
Because the table isn't just where we feed our bodies. It's where we feed our relationships. Our stories. our humanity.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of 7-Minute English. We hope it inspired you to slow down and savor your next conversation, and maybe even your next meal.
If this episode made you smile, consider sharing it with someone you'd love to talk with at the table. And let us know, what's your favorite memory from around the table?
Until next time, keep the conversations real, the meals meaningful, and the connection strong. See you soon.